name is Robert Sagmar, live from New York City. We have a special guest with us today. Please welcome President Theodore Roosevelt.
And I must say, I'm glad to be here, Rob.
Today, Theodore will...
That's President Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay. President Theodore Roosevelt is going to discuss his views on the Russo-Japanese War.
Well, Rob, as of today, the Japanese have been dominating the Russians on the battlefield, even though the Russian army is so much greater in size.
Yes, it seems so, Mr. President. How did this war even get started in the first place?
Well, Rob, the Russians wanted warm water ports because the ports they had would freeze over during the winter. And the Japanese felt like they deserved some part of Asia. And so the two countries have been fighting ever since.
So, Mr. President, when did this war officially begin?
Well, the war officially began on February 8th, 1904, when the Japanese led a surprise attack against the Russian fleet at Port Arthur, while the Russians were working on their Trans-Siberian Railroad.
Now, is that the same railroad the Russians built in order to transport men and supplies throughout Asia?
That's right.
How can a nation as small as Japan be able to take on Russia, a large, powerful nation?
Well, the Japanese just defeated the Chinese in the Sino-Japanese War, so I believe that the Japanese learned how to make a very powerful and efficient army through experience.
It is my understanding that the devastating Russian loss at the naval battle of Tsushima could bring an end to this war.
Yes, I expect the Russians to surrender sometime soon.
So, Mr. President, I heard that you will be serving as the peacemaker when this war finally ends. Precisely what do you intend to do?
Well, I plan to make both countries sign a peace treaty that would entitle Japan to more territories in Korea and Manchuria.
And what will this treaty be called?
I plan to call it the Treaty of Portsmouth.
Well, Mr. President, it was great talking to you, and thanks for being on our show.
My pleasure, Robert. Hello, NTV. My name is Robert. You heard? That's right. You got it. Correct. Sure thing, Rob.